How you doing, Lady Elegance? That's what a man is supposed to do. I can't.
It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it with your friends. Come on.
Come on. Come
Don't miss
on.
a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the
What's
mic.
going on, Chris? Once again, it's on. You're still trouble in your home. Got your tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your well. Keep it moving, spirit flowing because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on.
Once again, it's on. You are listening to the Sinclair Show. Matter of fact, let me turn some of this reverb to act like I'm about to sing y'all a song or something. First of all, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to sinclairtalk@outlook.com. I'm going to continue to address as many as possible each night that I get to be on the air with you, because you all are the valued listeners. And as I often say, y'all the valued listeners, because without you all, there would be no reason for me to be up here. I could be somewhere asleep. But you know why I keep coming back? Because y'all keep coming back. And that's how I get down. That's how we roll. We roll that way. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Some of the stuff is going to be a little controversial as always, but I'm really looking to get y'all views and opinions tonight on a few things, because sometimes there'll be some things that be a little iffy and we might not see eye to eye, and that's okay too, because it's not about y'all always agreeing with me or me agreeing with y'all. We find balance, but we educate each other, all right? If y'all see me drinking water all throughout the show, man, my doctor got me on this thing, man, talking about I got to drink a gallon of water a day. Y'all know how it feels to have to drink a gallon a day. A gallon is not a small feat for me anyway. So I've been pushing through it, man. I drink a gallon of water a day for a week now. Truth be told, I do feel a little bit more perky. I have lost a few little pounds and inches. But more than anything, I don't feel like I got the same amount of little inflammation and everything. I might feel like I could put paws on somebody if I had to. I ain't even got to shoot everybody these days, and I might be back in the paws game. Anyway, let me see who is out here on show out the gate. Let me see. First person up tonight was Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard. Y'all don't know nothing about that. She's from Rocket City, Alabama. And I don't care what y'all say about Alabama, because I know Alabama and Mississippi do got a reputation of having quite the imbalance when it comes to diversity and positiveness anyway. But I can tell y'all that Rocket City, Alabama has got one of the best in the business, Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard. I don't even know who came up with that name, but I will tell you this. She said Lady Elegance. Matter of fact, you know what? See, you don't even see names like that no more. The names that you see now be a little bit more, how can I say it without being offensive? The names, what's going on, Pamela German? Glad to see you, of course. Ty Matthews, what's going on? Y'all heard me roll out. Chris Parks, what you doing, big dog? There's Detective Pamela Black. Elegant as always. There go my mama. Hey, mama. What's going on, mama? What is Ty talking about? Ty said the gallon of water a day keep me in the bathroom every 30 minutes. We ain't even need to know none. Zero portion of that did I need to know, to be honest with you. But what was I? Oh, back to the names. Y'all notice how the names today are so much different, right? You can tell the generation or the time period of a person when you start looking at their names. All right, let's roll through just the folks that's online right now. All right, first person we said was Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard. Let's take the Lady Elegance part out of it. You know you dealing with a grown woman when her name is Gwendolyn, because anybody from the 80s on down, they ain't got names like that. They got names like like Triana, and these aren't bad names. I don't want y'all to think I'm picking at the name. Devontae. You got a bunch of names off songs and rap groups and entertainment groups. So you can tell what you're dealing with, and you can tell what era they are by their name, if that make any sense. Let's go down the list. So we got Gwendolyn. We know Gwendolyn is a grown woman's name. Matter of fact, fellas, let me say this right out the gate. If you roll up on a woman and she tell you her name is Gwendolyn, please have your A game together, because you probably gonna get told off for something if you approach a Gwendolyn with some foolishness. That's grown woman territory. Let me go down and see what's the next woman name. Pamela. Let me tell y'all something. You don't even get Pamelas no more. I ain't met nobody under 30 named Pamela. Pamela is a grown woman's name. If you see a Pamela, I guarantee you she is at least 37 and above. You ain't gonna find one Pamela under 37. That's a grown woman name. All right. Let's go down to the next one. Taya. That's a suspect name. That could be rummaging through this period of time, but probably not. Matter of fact, I ain't even never heard of but one Taya. So, you know, I'm gonna give her credit as gotta be from the old school. That was somebody mama who had some I don't even know where she came from. It might have been her grandma, or great grandma, something. I don't know where she came from with that. Maybe, in fact, we're gonna have to ask her mama in a minute. Let me see. Chris, you see, you don't. Well, yeah, Chris is an old school name, but you do got some sort of younger ones, because you got Chris Brown. So yeah, Chris is like a borderline name. Ladies, if you run into a dude named Chris, yeah, you had to put some more work in. You had to check his middle name out. All right. Oh, we got another Pamela in here. Pamela Black. I told y'all, every Pamela you meet is going to be 37 and older. No Pamelas under 37. I dare anybody right now to find me a Pamela under 37. Anybody? Find me the first person that can find me a Pamela under 37. Let me know. All right. Oh man, look, we got a Geraldine. Let me tell y'all something. Eric, Geraldine's is, you ain't gonna find me a Geraldine under 50. I guarantee you ain't gonna find a Geraldine under 50. Everybody named Geraldine is in grandmother territory. Find me a Geraldine that ain't a grandma. Anybody, anywhere. Find me a Geraldine that is 50 or under. Somebody let me know one, just one. All right. Let me see who else we got. Well, Pamela said Chris Key. Yeah, again, old school. Reason why we got to go borderline with Chris is because Chris, like I said, we got Chris Browns and stuff like that. So it's a few that might get that name. But James. Let me tell y'all something. You're not going to find a James under 40. For somebody find me a James under 40 that ain't a third or a second. All right? Anybody. Find me a James that's not a junior, a second, or a third. Under 40. Ain't going to happen. These are old school names y'all rocking with. Okay? We just keeping a stack. Matter of fact, what's some more names that you can tell by the name what it is? Let me see. Shirley. You're not going to find a Shirley who is under 45 years old. No Shirleys on the books under 45. Not Shirley. You might find a Shirley Caesar. You might find it's a bunch of Shirleys, but they all are, everybody named Shirley is over 45. All right? I'm keeping it a stack with y'all. Who we going to next? Annie Moore was going, Annie. You can't find one Annie under 55 right now. Guarantee it. You can't find any Annie. The only Annie you're going to find that's saying that they under 55 is the little one in the movie, little orphan Annie with the red hair. All right, I can tell you. So we done already determined just from our list of participants, Gwendolyn, grown woman name, you ain't gonna find one under 45. You ain't finding no Gwendolyn's under 45. We done said Pamela, you ain't finding no Pamela's under 45. Taya, we ain't gonna probably find no more of them. We might need, we ain't gonna find nobody under named Taya no more anyway. We said Chris is a pretty common name, but most of the time it's gonna be a 40 and over. But you got a few like Chris Brown that might spark in there. We done said Geraldines. Ain't no Geraldines in the books right now on this side of the dirt that's under 55. No Geraldines under 55. Every Geraldine you find me right now is going to be 55 and older. All right. Them Jameses up next. We said you're not going to find one James under 45. That's not a junior, a second, or third. No Jameses, because that ain't even the type of names y'all pick out. We said Annie, you ain't going to find no Annies under 50. Zero, zilch, none. No Annies under 50. Big Rod, what's up? Big Rod is in the house. First of all, Big Rod, you ain't gonna find no Rods under 55 either. Everybody named Rod is 50 or older, guaranteed. And he said Bertha. I promise you, there are no Berthas under 50. Everybody with that name is 50 and older. Let me see, Nikki. First of all, I don't even know if Nikki is somebody's real first name. That might be your middle name or your alias. Nikki Carter, tell us what your real first name is, because it ain't Nikki. Nikki, you could find a Nikki only because of the rapper Nicki Minaj, and it became a popular name then. So you can find Nickies that's been sprinkled throughout generations. So that's not an uncommon name. You can't really date that one. Chris said Gene. I can tell you like this. You ain't gonna find no jeans under 55. Only jeans under 55 is the ones you wearing. Nobody named Gene under 55. Big Rod said Pearl. Big Rod, do you got a lockdown on all of the old ladies? Big Rod said Pearl. There are no Pearls under 60. No, matter of fact, I dare y'all to find me a Pearl under 62 right now. No woman named Pearl is under 62 right now. Let me see what we got right here. Lewis. James has said Lewis. I can promise you, there are no Lewises under 55 right now. Every Lewis you know, matter of fact, I go even higher. I don't think you can find a Lewis under 62. I dare you. If you find a Lewis, if he is under 62, he is a junior, a second, or a third. There will be no Lewises that are out there like that. All right, let me see. Nikki Carter, first name is Deborah. Let me tell you something. Ain't no Deborahs. Let me see. How old is, what's the chick that say, how did you get there? Nobody wants to be here. I think she's a Deborah. You ain't gonna find no Deborahs under 45 right now. If they telling the truth, every Deborah is older than 45. I can promise you that. Linnell Richardson, what's going on, girl? First of all, I can tell you ain't gonna find no Linnells under 55 and probably pushing greater than that. But there are no Linnells under 55. That is not, you ain't gonna find nobody that named a child that under 55. Oh, Nikki Carter said Diane. Woo! Now Diane is a tricky name. Because everybody used to like to be called Diane. I'm gonna say right now, you can find Dianes, but probably not a Diane that is under 37. We're gonna say no Dianes under 37. Big Rod, you can't use Gwendolyn. We didn't already said that one. Let me see. Queen. You ain't gonna find nobody that ain't dancing somewhere in a format named Queen at no stage of the game. All right. Who we got here? Ty said Gladys. First of all, you ain't gonna find a Gladys under every Gladys right now getting Social Security. Every Gladys you meet is already getting her Social Security benefits. Run that for real. Oh, y'all said Esther. Man, please. Every Esther, guaranteed they getting that check in the mail on the 1st. Let me see. Lena. You know what? I don't think you can find a Lena under 60 right now. Big Rod said Emma. First of all, Big Rod, you need to get away from the assisted living and nursing homes because you know all these ladies, they coming up too fast. Big Rod got his old pimp game going or something because he know all of the old lady names. There is nobody named Emma that is not drawing Social Security. Every woman named Emma is drawing Social Security right now, I promise you. Chris said Ida May. It might not even be nobody else living named Ida May. If anybody named Ida May, I promise you, she is 80 and over. Every Ida May is 80 and over. All right? Nikki Carter said Jenny Lee. First of all, you can find a Jenny Lee right down the street. Let me tell you something. Our Caucasian Anglo-Saxon friends, they still name they daughters Jenny Lee, whatever. So you can find a Jenny Lee. Corey Parks, what's going on, big dog? Pamela German says she knows a Deborah under 40. She must be your child because I know good and well you don't know nobody named Deborah. You know a Deborah named 39. Pull her up. Pull her up right now. I want you to put her on the spot. Big Rod said Mary. Woo, Big Rod. No, you know what, Big Rod? I would like to say, matter of fact, you can find Marys that are 35 and up. I don't believe you're going to find a Mary that is under 35. But because of Mary J. Blige, and some people thinking they was owning, Mary was a common name. I think you can find a Mary that is about at least 35. All right? B-Rod said, these are the names that I grew up with. Cassie. Oh, you can find a Cassie right now. Deborah McClary. All right, everybody, if you see Deborah McClary, somebody ask her what's her age. Nikki Carter said Harriet. Girl, let me tell you something. No more people named Harriet still breathing. Everybody named Harriet done passed on. Okay? You might have some that's in their 90s, maybe 87 to 90, but most Harriets already got a headstone, all right? Pamela said Deborah is 39. She pushing 40, but I'm gonna give you credit because you done came with the facts. I digress on the name Deborah. Josephine, you got some Josephines that are younger than that. Matter of fact, it used to be one of them reality shows, Love and Hip Hop or something. One of them shows, one of them housewives shows or hood wives shows, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Mabel, woo! Matter of fact, I know a Mabel. Every Mabel is, I had to guess, every Mabel is 60 or older. Every Mabel, I believe, is 60 or older. Big Rod said Florence. Man, ain't no Florence is under 65. Everybody named Florence is getting Social Security right now. Guarantee it. Gwendolyn said Ella. No, you know what? There is a young lady right now who is a singer named Ella May or Ella Ma, whatever. She's a good singer too. Matter of fact, look, everybody send a shout out to Chester, the Lochi's out there, man. He in recovery. He out there acting just as you can tell when somebody get back on the good foot, they start acting like they regular self. Man, I saw him the other day, man. Funny as all outdoors. Want y'all to keep him in his prayers. Sooner or later, he gonna be out here on the show talking crazy to y'all. Let me see. Big Rod said, my great aunt was named Mabel. Big Rod, how old is your great aunt? Matter of fact, you used the analogy was. So was is past tense. And we are sorry for the loss of your great aunt named Mabel. But how old would she have been today, Big Rod? I just want you to go ahead and confirm what I already knew. Evelyn. Woo! Evelyn, like Evelyn Champagne King. Every Evelyn is, you can't find me an Evelyn under 55. No Evelyns under 55. Big Rod Whitney already said you can find a Chester. Big Rod said his aunt, Mabel, would have been 100, a whole Benjamin Franklin today. All right. Ernestine. I know an Ernestine. You can find Ernestines that are at least at minimum 45 and up. I know an Ernestine that I think she's at least 45. All right. Let me see who Cora. Woo. Cora. Man, I know a Cora. I used to have an aunt named Cora. Ooh, Cora. You know what? I don't think you can find a Cora that is under 55. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Them Coras, they were some stern, some mostly quiet, but they were stern. Let's see who else we got. Willie Mae. Oh, you can't find nobody that ain't still got shackles on their wrists named Willie Mae. Shoot. You ain't gonna find nobody. I don't think you got nobody under 85 or 90 named Willie Mae. Okay. Anyway, people, we do got to talk about some stuff tonight. But this was, Big Rod said Gail. What's Oprah friend? Oprah friend named Gail. I don't think you can find anybody under 55 named Gail. Yeah, I ain't gonna believe there's nobody. I don't believe you're gonna find nobody named Gail under 55. Now, mind you, I'm talking about first names. You might find a bunch of these little young whippersnippers with a name that fits into any of these categories, depending on if their parents want to pay homage to their grandmother or like Margaret. You ain't gonna find nobody under 50 named Margaret. Taya said Jerome. Oh man, you ain't gonna find no Jeromes under 55 right now. Guarantee it. Ain't nobody naming their kid Jerome. Nope. Ain't happening. Again, we talking about first names only because middle names, a lot of times, some of you all would have paid homage to your parents or your grandparents and gave them one of them old slave names. But 99.9% of the time, all the names we went through today, you are not going to find like Thomas. Speaking of Thomas, where's Thomas Mims at? You ain't gonna find Thomas. Every Thomas you know, 50 and older, guaranteed. Big Rod said Johnny. You definitely ain't gonna find no Johnnies. There is no Johnny under 50. Zero. They don't even make them like that no more. Guarantee you. Nail said, yep. You ain't gonna find no Jeromes out there. You better believe it ain't no Jeromes out there. And if you find one, and it's an alias, I ain't say an alien. I said he using an alias. Lawrence. Yeah, you ain't gonna find no Lawrences under 55 either. Everybody named Lawrence is older than 55. And probably will take your money. All right. Nikki Carter said, Mims raiding refrigerators right about now. Probably. You know, when you get these new age ones, you're gonna find different types of names. But we ain't even gonna go through the new names, because I really do got some stuff. Big Rod said Lester. Oh, you definitely ain't gonna find no Lesters. Everybody named Lester is 60 and older. And probably just getting out the pen. Chris said William. Ooh, William. You probably ain't gonna find an American named William that is under 50. You'll find some overseas. Uh-oh, there go Mimmy Mims, y'all. Big dog, what's going on, Mimster? Mims, we were just talking about you, and we've come to the conclusion there is no child in this world right now named Thomas. None. Everybody named Thomas is 50 and older. So, Mims, that includes you. You don't have to tell us your age, but we know by your first name being Thomas that you are at least 50. Oh, Luther. First of all, it ain't nobody named Luther under 65. Anybody named Luther getting Social Security, guaranteed. I guarantee you that. You ain't even got to ask nobody. Hold on, Mims talking about his son. Hey, Mims, first of all, keep up. We already said that the exception for any of these male names is if they are junior, a second, or a third. Because we already know some of y'all convicted y'all sons to y'all unpopular names. All right? That right there. Yeah, you're not going to find any of them names. Like if you find somebody named Wilbert, Wilbert is going to be at least 50 and older. Just understand that. I'm just keeping it a stack with y'all. Anyway, people, we do have to move on. I can't let y'all just sit up here all night and talk about y'all relatives. We do got to press the gas button and get on some real topics before some of our people who are outside of the country that be listening in get mad. First thing we going to talk about tonight, let's go to the topics. Let's see. Let's talk about Don Lemon. Now, let me tell y'all something. If you have not been living under a rock, by now you have heard that y'all homeboy, Don Lemon, got the pink slip from CNN. Now, as I was perusing through social media and listening to all of the things that were being said, one of the things that got me was Don Lemon seemed to feel like we supposed to have some sympathy for him. I ain't really got all that much sympathy for Don Lemon, no way. Okay? And the way he said it, y'all, was, matter of fact, before I pass my opinion on it, y'all, any of y'all felt sorry for Don Lemon getting fired? If so, let me know. If not, let me know. I ain't feel sorry for Don Lemon at all. First of all, Don Lemon, I knew he should have been fired when he got into the Jussie Smollett situation. Nikki Carter, you said you felt sorry for him. Whatever, you would. Deborah gone with that. Big Rod said Don had to go. Nothing could have saved him. Absolutely. Nikki Carter talking about she felt sorry for him. Whatever. Let me tell y'all. Do y'all remember they had Don Lemon somehow trying to give Jussie Smollett the heads up that the heat was on when Jussie was out there making himself, getting somebody to choke him with a rope that he went home with and ate his sub with. Come on, y'all. Don Lemon was in there. Lady Elegant said, nope, he was too full of himself. Yeah, I wasn't really down with Don Lemon. I felt like Don Lemon really didn't do anything that was beneficial to the team, you know. Uh-oh. No, Nikki Carter ain't on his team. Nikki Carter said he should have been fired after he said women were past her prime. Woo. No pitchfork, madam. I know she was gonna be on this case then. I didn't even catch that little snafu on Mr. Lemon's part, but apparently Nikki Carter did. Big Rod said they prolonged it by moving him from his own show to the daytime. Absolutely. Nikki Carter said they made him work first. And see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Here's what gets me about Don Lemon. I'm going to read y'all what he said. And we absolutely know he lying. And y'all know I hate when folks lie. All right? This is what Don Lemon said. Don Lemon says he's been fired from his post at CNN. CNN this morning, which he co-anchored with Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow for about 6 months. The former actor, who was aired Monday morning, said, I was informed this morning by my agent that I've been terminated by CNN. I'm stunned. That's what he said. CNN CEO Chris Light said in a statement that the network wishes him well and would cheer him on as he pursues further endeavors, echoing what he wrote in an email to CNN staffers obtained by USA Today. To my CNN colleagues, CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. He added CNN this morning has been on the air for nearly 6 months, and we're committed to his success. Lemon, Donnie Don himself, expressed frustration with the manner in which he says his news was delivered. Well, first of all, Donnie Don, matter of fact, let me read you what he said before I give y'all my opinion about it. He said, after 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have the decency to tell me directly. Lemon added in his tweet, at no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network. It is clear there are some larger issues at play. With that said, I want to thank my colleagues and the many teams I've worked with for an incredible run. They are the most talented journalists in the business, and I wish them all the best. First of all, let me tell you something. Don Lemon, you ain't no better than the rest of us. And management don't have to come sit you down personally from the highest levels and have some little tea and crumpets with you. They don't have to do that. That ain't what they do with us. They tell your supervisor, since you have an agent, they did the proper thing. They went to see your point man and told your point man, tell you, hey, bro, turn in your badge. Matter of fact, you keep the badge. We've already powered it off so you can't get in the building no way. That's what they did, and that's what they supposed to do, because that's what they do to us, regular people. Okay? That right there. Nikki Carter said something was going on for him to say that he had no indication he couldn't continue. First of all, Nikki Carter, let me tell you something. Don Lemon is lying. Every one of us who have ever been fired from a job, we knew weeks, days, hours, or even months sometimes in advance. You know, when people start picking with you, when people start doing stuff to you, Don Lemon has been saying absurd stuff for a couple of years now. He just got into something with Nikki Haley. Nikki Carter said he just said something about women being past their prime. This dude was absolutely begging to be fired. And while I don't want to put my Anglo-Saxon comrades out on Front Street, let's be clear. White people don't have time for that foolishness. They be looking for a reason to elevate and excavate you up out of your chair. All right? Oh, look at my armor bearer, Essie Shepherd. That's another name right there, people. Essie. You ain't gonna find no S's under 55. All right? Put that one in y'all books too. Glad to see you, my dear armor bearer. She keep the wolves off my back. But yeah, so Don Lemon just lying, man. You knew. We knew. How you didn't know, Don Lemon, that they was going to be firing you after you said all that crazy stuff you said? I'm going to tell you right now, every time I got fired, I knew I was getting fired. I started looking through, look, when management started messing with you, you know what I did? Hey, I can tell y'all personally, because I had, in my lifetime, I've been terminated a couple of times. I settled down the older that I got, but I done took some L's. And I'm going to tell you, every time management was going to get me, they started picking with me. You know what I did? I go in there and clear out all, matter of fact, I got so I don't have nothing. Yeah, management ruined me at an early age. I don't put up nothing in my office. I don't have no, look, I got a doctorate degree. I got masters. I got everything you could think of. And all that stuff is either downstairs or at my mama's house. You know why? I don't put nothing up in no office because I don't have time to be deconstructing somebody else's work site when they come in there and start trying to get me to put my stuff in an old, what kind of box they be using, people? Everybody know. Everybody tell me, what kind of box do they give you? What kind of box did they give Don Lemon? Rod said he kept putting his foot in his mouth. He thought because he was gay, probably he was safe. Hey, I wasn't even going to go there, but I'm glad you brought it up. We'll talk about that in a hot second. But think about it. Everybody in here who has been fired at least one time, let me see. James talking about he back. James, we ain't know you went nowhere. A banker's box. Yeah, some of them get banker's box, Linnell, you right. But let me tell y'all, Nikki, well, first of all, where all y'all get banker's boxes from? Y'all know what kind of box y'all really get? Y'all know them boxes that all the white paper come in? Yeah, them boxes. That's what they come bring you to get your, yes, right there. Annie Moore been fired before. She said a cardboard box. I done got them cardboard boxes before. You better believe it. They take all them reams of paper out and they bring you that box. That's your get up out this cubicle, get up out this office box. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Nikki Carter said the paper ream box. You better believe it. I'd have got one of them before. Sure have. There's the lady herself, Mother Yvonne Rouse. Glad to see you tonight. James said he got caught in the rain. Look here, Keith Sweat. Anybody ask you nothing about going outside in the rain? You ought to get inside. Annie Moore said she ain't never been fired. Hold on, Annie Moore. You ain't never been fired from no job. You ain't never been dismissed. You ain't never been asked to not come back. Come on now, Annie Moore. I am not going to believe it. I'm going to ask your mama. I promise you. Annie Moore, when I see your mama at church on Sunday, I'm going to ask her, have you ever been fired? Linnell said, that's the to-go box. You better believe it. Nikki Carter said, everything should fit in that one box. Annie Moore said she made it all the way to retirement and never in her life has ever been fired. Well, you know what? I'm going to validate that with your mama. Because I don't really believe you right now. Oh, Yvonne talking about she telling the truth. Yvonne, you don't know if she been fired or not. She might not have told y'all. Man, you kill me with that. Uh-oh, Esther Shepherd said, I was never dismissed either. Man, first of all, let me go back and refrain from this. Because y'all done now made me realize something. You know what? I stand corrected, Annie. Because we've already said everybody with the name Annie or Essie, certainly Yvonne, everybody with those names are very seasoned, and nobody has those names that are under 55 or 60. So y'all came from a time period where you could get over like that. Everybody sent a shout out to Trinity Perry. What's going on? Glad to see you up here. Yvonne telling me I've never been fired either. You keep living long enough, you're going to get fired from something. Matter of fact, some of y'all might have got fired from your man. Nikki Carter says, Sinclair troublemaker in the workplace. Hey, no, I'm not no troublemaker, but understand, I keep it a stack with y'all. I wasn't always as seasoned as I am now. Yeah, I done got fired before. I started getting fired when I was young. I remember I got fired when I was in high school. I got fired. I used to work at a place called Winn-Dixie. Matter of fact, they fired me because I was in the back eating snacks or something. I don't have no reason to lie. Okay? I got fired from there. I got fired from a car wash. I got fired. Man, I got fired a lot of times before I got my life together. Don't judge me now. Let me see. Chris said maybe they were given a choice, either quit or you're fired, and they chose to quit. Yeah, Chris might got something for y'all. Chris says some of y'all that ain't never been fired might have left on your own. And man, let me tell you what don't count either. It does not count if you knew you was going to get fired and you quit 2 days before. Hold on. And he said, I don't have any reason to lie either. I ain't say you are lying. I just don't believe you. That ain't the same thing. Two things can be true anymore. You can be, I know you to be an upstanding, seasoned woman, but that don't mean I got to believe everything you say. You can be telling the truth and I still not personally believe it. I just want to go back and check your record. How about that? Nikki Carter said, how you get fired from a car wash? Well, if you really want to know, I got fired from the car wash because I was doing some crooked activities. I found a way to do something that I shouldn't have been doing, got caught, got fired, had to tell my mama, got in trouble, got a whooping. That was the end of it. Okay? But y'all think I'm a lie? I work for God. I cannot tell a lie. I don't necessarily want to tell y'all everything, but hey, look, I'm a grown man now. As a matter of fact, you can call me Dr. Nicholson. I'm tired of y'all playing with me. Give me my respect. I went from getting fired from car washes to being Dr. Nicholson. So anything you do in your life, you can recover from it if you want to. Now, run that. Andy said, that's your problem. Whatever, Andy. Look, hey, Chris, you done got S and man. She talking about that didn't happen. I didn't quit. They're my homie, the big homie, Jay Dizzle. What it is, man. Glad to see you on the show. Andy Moore, is you threatening bodily harm at church? Man, what in the world? You know I work for Jesus, so Andy Moore, anything you talking about doing to me, you might want to pray about it. Because I'm telling y'all, whatever you do to the least of his, and I'm the least of his. Man, I ain't messing with y'all anyway. Anyway, back to Don Lemons. All right. Don Lemons deserved to get fired. I'm glad he got fired. He should have got fired before that. I wasn't never really feeling him no way. Y'all was giving him a pass. And let's go back to something that Big Rod said. Well, let me find it, because I don't want y'all to attribute that quote to me, even though I'm rocking with Big Rod on it. Let me see. Is this the one right here? Big Rod said he kept putting his foot in his mouth. He thought because he was gay that he was probably safe. Let me tell y'all something. Big Rod got some truth to that. All right? That's real talk. I know some folks that are, matter of fact, I have friends that are gay. I got family members that are gay. And I am not talking about any of those. I don't think. To be honest with you, I can't say that I ain't, because some of them I don't be in they personal or professional business enough to know. But I can see in the climate that we exist in right now, Don Lemon could have said, hey, look, they can fire a lot of people, but CNN is not going to fire the only black gay guy that they got working on their show. But Don Lemon, guess what? I bet they can replace you with a white gay guy. You're out of here, buddy. That's what you deserve, man. You can't be out here talking crazy. This Nikki Carter talking about, Dizzle, where's your note? You're late. Jay Dizzle got an excuse. He's out doing business. He's actually working. So Nikki Carter, get up off the big homie like that. All right? Let's go on to something else, people, because y'all sucking up all my time. I got one other one that I want to bring y'all, but we ain't going to talk about that right now. I got to give y'all an update, and let me see if I got the paperwork here. We are going to do the update on, let's talk about the substitute teacher update. The substitute, y'all remember last week in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, we talked about a substitute teacher that got into a physical scrumble, if you will, a little altercation, if you will, with a student because she took the student's cell phone. The student rolled up on her, got into her, as we like to say in old folk land, you can't be up in like this space right here. The young girl got up in her space/face. Next thing you know, there was a push, there was a swing. Next thing you know, they on the ground getting a scruffle on, and all of a sudden you start seeing body parts, and you start hearing folk calling each other out their name, somebody getting their head slammed to the ground. And we talked about it last week. I had an opportunity. I don't know what I said last week, and Uncle Cindy seeing stand by what he say. So here's what I'm saying, people. Last week I told y'all, once that young girl swung on her, that, excuse me, the substitute had a right to give her the business. I stand by that, because every human being has a right to defend themselves. And y'all agreed with me, right? We was all on the same team last week. Well, people, unfortunately, I got to jump ship on y'all. I got to jump ship because I went back and I watched the video. No, I wasn't watching the parts with the person not being dressed. I watched the version where it was blurred out. All right. I was watching the wholesome version, the PG-13 version. All right. But let me tell you what I did notice. And you'll probably notice it too if you remove yourself from the emotion of the young girl rolling up on her. The young girl was 100% wrong for the disrespect. Hold on, I know Nikki Carter ain't running her mouth. Nikki Carter said, good, you came to your senses. Nope, not exactly, Nikki Carter. I want you to listen to what I got to say before you assume that I'm pro Nikki tonight. The young lady was clearly disrespectful and out of bounds. And that came from poor parenting at home. Okay, clearly. And the young lady did get into the substitute teacher's energy space, if you will. Meaning, if you close enough for me to punch you, you probably should be getting punched. Unless you had an invitation to be that close. But let's back it up a minute. Let's rewind it. That's me rewinding what I said last week. Here's where I got a problem at, people. When you go back and you look at the videotape, I have come to the conclusion that the substitute teacher was also wrong, if not more wrong. Not for beating her up, because anybody swing on you deserves to get paws on them. But I will say, I found that the substitute teacher did nothing to de-escalate the situation. The young girl was clearly arguing with the substitute teacher. And in her argument, she was saying something that as a counselor, and you all know I've been a counselor for years, as a family counselor, as a substance abuse counselor, as a counselor in general, we are trained to listen to certain things. All right? Cassandra, we are glad that you are here. That's another name. You can't find no Cassandras under 55 right now. No Cassandras under 55. All right. But when I went back and I watched the video, the young lady kept saying, you are treating me differently than you treated everybody else. Why is there special rules for me? The young lady clearly had seen this substitute teacher tell somebody else or other people, one or more, about their phones and did not take their phones. When the young lady kept saying, why is there a different rule for me? The substitute teacher did absolutely nothing to diffuse that situation. And some of y'all are saying, well, what could she have done? Cassandra said, I'm under 55. This is a tell the truth show, Cassandra. No, you're not. Let me see. Nikki Carter said that's correct. I mean, I want you to think about it, people. Again, let's remove the emotion. Let's all agree that once the young girl swung on her, she had a right to put them paws on her. All right? But let's talk about the actions prior to that. Oh, my goodness. Look at Big Dog Barry Horton. What it is, what it do, where you been, Big Dog? Glad to see you up here. He said she should have talked the situation down. And that's the conclusion that the well-rounded critical thinker, Dr. Sinclair, came up with, because I began to ask myself, we want police to de-escalate. We want folks at the house to de-escalate. But this substitute teacher did nothing to de-escalate. First and foremost, anytime you see temperatures rising, the best thing, if possible, to do is to take the two parties out of the area. This young girl was going to get amped up. Every young person going to get amped up if they feel like they being disrespected in front of the homies. I'm not saying it's right, but that's the way that they feel. So we have an obligation to manage the classroom. All right? She could have told the young lady, look, if you think I'm handling this the wrong way, let's step out in the hallway and have a conversation about this. She could have took in the hallway and said, hey, look, now I'm going to keep this phone to the end of the class. If you go back to your seat and sit down, as soon as the bell ring, I'll give you your phone back and you can take it to your next class or wherever you got to go. All right? But she didn't do that. What else could she have done? She could have said, hold on for a second. Terrence, one of them other little kids in the class, she could have said, hey, yo, do me a favor. Go get the resource officer. She could have said, you know what? I tell you what, you go and take this phone back. She could have gave her the phone and then told her to leave the classroom and go see the principal. She could have gave her the phone back when the girl went to her seat, used the same phone that she was trying to beat the girl in the head with that was in the classroom to call the resource officer. Sometimes winning is not winning. Sometimes we think we winning and we really losing because we in the moment. And I want y'all to understand that, again, I'm not giving the student a pass. The student was ignorant. She was disrespectful. She was aggressive. She got in that woman's space. She swung on that grown woman and she got beat like she was supposed to. But my issue is I cannot say that but for the instructor who was in a leadership position, even though she was a substitute, she had a professional responsibility to try to manage it a different way. James says she called a resource officer from her desk. I saw her attempting to. I could not tell whether the call was completed or not. She said she did, but I'm unwilling to go off what she said because, James, what I know for a fact is she had an opportunity to de-escalate, and she did not take advantage of it. Now, again, when somebody get in your personal space with somebody, and if we're being honest, when the young girl grabbed at the phone, the resource officer pushed her back and said, don't grab at me, which was technically the first contact made. And then the young girl swung on her. It doesn't matter. The young girl was 100% wrong, but so was the substitute teacher. James said she did, and the resource officer was dealing with another situation, and that may be true, and all of that. James, I don't know where James must be working. James must be with TMZ because he be having all the backdrop information. James, if all of that was true, it still doesn't change the fact that there was a way to de-escalate that situation. Even if it meant you gave that girl back that phone and then you went yourself and got somebody. The end result was it did not have to get to an altercation. That's all I'm saying. You said, so the teacher couldn't leave the room? Yeah, the teacher could leave the room. Let's be clear. It could have happened. Johnny said, beat the brakes off her again and again. Johnny, listen, I'm not saying when the girl swung the first time, she pulled the teacher's hair out. That's not exactly what happened. Not from what I saw. I saw the young girl grab at her. The teacher then pushed her back and said, don't come up on me like that. The girl then swung at her. The teacher then started swinging back, got the phone in her hand and all that. All right? Again, and James, for the record, we're not making an argument tonight that once the girl approached the teacher's personal space, whether or not the teacher was in the right. James, we've already said that once that young girl got in her personal space, that she had every right to put them paws on her. So you can stop making that argument. We're on the same page with that. I'm saying prior to that girl getting to that desk, it could have been de-escalated. Johnny said she gave that student a snoop pull. Absolutely she did. Brother Sizemore, what's going on, big dog? He said these phones in schools are issue. Take it from a teacher. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I just want you all to be clear that, as I told Annie earlier, two things can be true. The teacher gave the student what she asked for when she approached her and got in her face. But prior to her getting in her face, there was other ways of handling it. And while we might not want to put the onus on the instructor, it is their responsibility to de-escalate. James said the news said that when she swung, she grabbed a braid. She also quit. Hell no, she didn't have to quit because she was going to get fired anyway. And second of all, the news said a lot. I'm telling you, I watched that video. I watched it more than 10 times because I wanted to be accurate. Johnny said, but seriously, she should and could have found another way to de-escalate the situation. Thank you, my brother, because that's all I'm saying. We don't want to give the inference, because we lose credibility, people, when we look at a situation with tunnel vision and we don't look at from beginning to end as much as we know. And I clearly, in this case, agree with Nikki Carter. Both are wrong, but the teacher is the authority. Johnny says student cell phones should be banned from school. Nikki Carter said, thank you, Jay Dizzle. James said the escalation came when she came behind the desk when she was asked not to. James, come on, stop, James, stop. James, she did not try to de-escalate. Before that girl got behind the desk, there was 50 things this assistant could have done that she just didn't do. You're trying to defend the indefensible. Nobody is saying that once she got behind that desk and got in her face, she shouldn't have got the 2, 3, 4, 20 piece. Anymore said that young girl didn't want to hear anything the sub had to say because she wanted her phone. Absolutely. And you know what was an option? It was an option even if y'all don't like it. She could have gave her the cell phone and handled it with the principal or somebody else. James said that's facts. Son said, I disagree about the cell phones being banned. I actually disagree with that as well. Nikki Carter said, I add an 8 for participation night. Absolutely. Phones are banned in Nash County. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Their phones may be banned from being on, but there's no way that they can tell me that them students ain't got them in the class. I work at an early college. Come on now. I work for a college. I know for a fact. All right. Sonia said, I believe there's more to the story prior to this escalation. It has to be Because Cassandra, you are right. And I was saying this before you came on air. The problem with this whole scenario to me is this, is that the young girl kept saying, you are treating me differently than you treated other people. Why is there a special rule for me? That to me was the linchpin that tells me there had been some other students not listening about their phones and she did not take their phones. So when she took this young lady's phone, the young lady began with the argument, why am I getting treated differently? And whether I like it or not, when the young girl asked that question, it implies different treatment. And so if you're not treating everybody the same, you open the door for there to be a disagreement with the policy. Matter of fact, not even policy, with the practice. Anyway, people, look, I got to get up off here tonight because we'll be talking about this. I had other stuff. Hey, look here. If y'all in North Carolina, the big homie Robert Kelly is in the state. Now, I don't want none of y'all getting arrested so y'all could go and hear R. Kelly saying in prison. All right. But what is James talking about? She disrupted class all period according to the school. The school is going to say whatever they're going to say. James, listen. Let's agree to this. Let's agree that you believe what you want to believe. I work at schools. Schools are not going to come out and tell the whole story. I do believe the young lady, because the young lady was mad, angry, and she said, why is there a different rule for me? I believe the young lady earned that beat down that she got, but I also believe that when she asked that question, it was because the substitute was not handling everything the exact same way. And anytime you don't do that, you have problems. Big Mim said there's a difference between fighting a student and de-escalating the situation. Most students don't respect subs, and many subs are not, quiet to handle aggressive behavior. All right, cool. Listen, people. Anyway, just to give y'all the update on your boy, Robert Kelly, singer Robert Kelly, R. Kales, was moved from Chicago Correctional Center to a medium security prison in North Carolina last week. He was transferred from Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago to the Federal Correction Institute in Butner, North Carolina. So if y'all just gotta see Kales that bad, go break the law in Butner and you'll be able to be with R. Kelly for a few anyway, and you can hear him singing all his latest hits up in Butner County, North Carolina. I'm not recommending it, but I do want y'all to know Kales is on tour in the Carolinas right now. Catch him if you want to. And our hearts and prayers go out to the family of the one and only beloved Harry Belafonte. He passed away. He was 96. Harry died Tuesday morning of congestive heart failure. So obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to him. It's 9 o'clock. I got to go. Love y'all. Keep it down. Hold it down for you one time.
It's about that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go.